Once upon a time, in a quiet African village nestled between two large hills, a rumor spread like wildfire. It was started by a traveler passing through who loved to seek attention and impress people by telling tales. He claimed that on one of his many travels, he had been told of treasures buried deep within a mysterious cave in the enchanted Nkoki forest, protected by a fierce creature. As the traveler moved on, the villagers became captivated by the notion of this treasure, and the story continued to be exaggerated as it was passed from one villager to the other, with tales of large, fierce creatures sent by the gods to guard gold, diamonds, and treasures beyond their wildest dreams. Amongst some of the men, the excitement about the story soon became an obsession. One day, Chike, an eager young man, decided he had to find the treasure. He rallied two of his friends, and together they set off towards the Nkoki forest, which was about an hour's walk from the village, buzzing with the thrill of adventure and excitement. As they approached the forest, they encountered an old man who lived on the outskirts. He noticed their excitement and warned them, "The woods are enchanting but dangerous. You must tread carefully and not let tales steer you into peril." But the young adventurers, driven by the allure of treasure and glory, dismissed his warnings. They pressed on into the forest, imagining untold riches and their names immortalized in the village. Eventually, they stumbled upon an old crumbling cave where the shadows loomed large and the air was thick with mystery. Inside, they found strange markings, scattering insects and what looked like old traps. Panic began to set in as they ventured deeper into the cave, which seemed alive with whispers and eerie echoes. Finally, they reached the end of the cave but found nothing. It was now quite late in the evening and quite dark. The atmosphere in the cave had become even more eerie, and they could hear strange animal sounds coming from the forest. Remembering the old man's warnings and realizing they were in over their heads, they decided to turn around and leave. They nervously retraced their steps back towards the cave entrance. Then, all of a sudden, Chike screamed as he felt a sharp pain to his foot. He looked down to see that he had been bitten by a giant spider, which quickly disappeared into the darkness. His friends rushed to his aid and had to carry him to the cave entrance and back through the forest, as his foot began to swell up and the pain became excruciating. They slowly made their way back through the forest, carrying Chike, who continued to suffer in pain and began to feel feverish, until they reached the outskirts of the forest where they met the old man. They explained what had happened. Fortunately for them, he was well versed in the knowledge of healing. He quickly gathered herbs from the forest and treated the wound to extract the poison. He also prepared a potion for Chike to drink, which eased the pain and reduced the fever. Chike and his friends stayed the night at the old man's hut, as it was now too dark to travel. In the morning, Chike felt much better. The pain had eased and the swelling had gone down, although he still walked with a limp. They thanked the old man profusely for his help and headed back towards the village. As they approached the village, they were met with relief by the people, who had become very worried, with rumors swirling around that they had been captured and devoured by the beasts guarding the cave. Some had even been preparing to flee, believing that the gods would surely vent their anger and wrath on the village by sending the monsters to destroy it. Chike and his friends now understood the danger of believing in fictitious stories, spreading rumors, and acting on false information without verifying the truth. They quickly gathered the villagers around and explained what had happened. There was no treasure in the cave and no monsters, only misguided information and rumors, which had been fueled by an unverified tale. The villagers listened, slowly processing the fact that their fear had been based on fiction. They learned the significance of verifying facts before letting tales spread unchecked. The experience taught them that a story can be a powerful force for good or evil, and that truth is the bedrock upon which trust is built. They established a council to discuss and share information responsibly, to ensure that their stories would strengthen and not break their community. So, what is the moral of this story? Don't believe everything you read, especially nowadays. Try to question whatever you read or watch. Ask yourself if it makes sense. Can it be verified from another source? Remember, information is power, but it can also be used as a tool to deceive and control the masses. Many people that post information on social media and even mainstream media channels have an agenda, and it's not always about telling the truth. Sometimes they just want to present their own narrative or attract attention just to get as many views or clicks as possible. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. If you like this story, remember to subscribe and watch out for more. Bye for now, and God bless.